What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Oliver Mack. Welcome to Oliver Rants. And in this video, we got to talk about singer Macy Gray and her definition of a woman. Check it out.
If I asked you what a woman is, what would you say?
Let's say a human being with boobs. How do you to start there?
Yeah, I mean, the dictionary is quite straightforward. It just
And
says
a
a human,
vagina.
adult, female,
Yeah.
right?
No, a lot of people. Yeah, see, that's a little getting confusing. The whole he, she, they. That's getting a little.
And I'm not
wrapped.
sure why, really. It's a bit like this whole issue of transgenders in sport. It's like I support all trans rights to fairness and equality.
Me too.
But not where you have people born to obvious physical superior bodies.
Me too.
Transitioning and then thrashing the women at their sport.
I totally agree. And
Now, a lot of people on the left have said that this whole idea that trans women go into women's sports and start annihilating them, they said that's a right-wing talking point. Apparently it's not.
I will say this, and everybody's gonna hate me, but as a woman, just because you go change your parts doesn't make you a woman.
Right.
Sorry.
You feel that.
Okay, let me tell you a little background on Macy Gray. So Macy Gray is definitely a liberal. She's a Black Lives Matter supporter, staunch Black Lives Matter supporter, Democrat, all that. And she's coming out and saying this. This goes totally against the Democrats' agenda.
That.
I know that for a fact. Like, if you want me to call you a her, I will, because that's what you want. But that doesn't make you a woman just because I call you a her and just because you got a surgery.
Because people do feel that there's biological sex and then there's gender identity, that you can
Right.
identify as whatever you like
You can
in
call
terms
yourself
of a
whatever you
gender,
want.
right?
Yeah,
That's the
totally.
freedom we live in. But
Absolutely.
actually you can't change the mechanics of biological sex. They are what they are.
Well, just women go through just a completely unique experience, and surgery or finding yourself doesn't change that. You know, being a little girl is a whole epic book, and you can't have that just because you want to be a woman.
I mean, you
Because
know
you
that
wanna
when,
be.
when people like J.K. Rowling have said this, they get attacked, they get abused.
Yeah.
The cancel culture mob comes from me. She gets
I know.
called transphobic and so on. You might get the same for saying it.
But it's the truth. I'm not, and I don't think you should be called transphobic just because you don't agree with, I just, there's a lot of, judgment and throwing, stones at people for just saying what it is. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Macy Gray, for speaking out. Like, you are a Grammy award-winning singer, very well known. I mean, by some people. Back in the day, I mean, she's not really that popular anymore, but back in the day, she used to be pretty famous. But for her to come out and say this is incredible. Thank you so much. When people stand up for what they believe in, for what they know is true, it's the most incredible thing ever. I just love it. And it shouldn't be that shocking. I hate that we're here, right? Because a woman, a celebrity, anybody coming out and saying, yeah, women have women parts. You shouldn't be able to just call yourself a woman and be a woman, because the female experience is something that you experience, like it's from birth to adulthood. Like, you don't just get to skip. Okay. You don't just get to skip the whole trial, all the trials and tribulations of being a little girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, for somebody who's transgender, say they're in their 20s and then they were a man they were a male their whole life, and then they're in their 20s and decide they want to be a woman. That man never had to go through what it felt like to have a period. That man never had to go through what it felt like to be picked on for having small boobs, for being picked on for having a small butt, being picked on for not being pretty enough, being picked on for not being girly enough. Like, the whole female experience encompasses a lot. It encompasses many, many years and many, many phases. So for somebody who was born a man and never had to go through all that to now all of a sudden decide, oh, I'm a woman and I want all the benefits of being a woman. Because I think that's a lot of times what happens. Females go through a lot, and then once they get older, it's like they get to reap the benefits of being a woman. They get to reap the benefits of protection from men. And it's not just the man that they're with, right? When a female is out in public, she is protected by every man that's in her presence. Every good man that's in her presence has her protection. Men don't get that. So that trans woman now all of a sudden gets to experience the benefits of being a woman without ever having to go through the trials and tribulations that women went through to get to that point, which is very, very unfair. And that's why I don't understand why females today are so accepting of trans women, because they're not like you. But they want to be like you. They've skipped the line to get to where you are, and now they want to take everything from you. You've worked your whole life as a little girl growing up into a woman to be good at female sports, right? Because there's certain things that women have to do in female sports that men may not have to do. There's certain things like they may have to protect things that men may not have to protect. They may have to do things a certain way that men may not have to do. And all of a sudden, they get to the point where, okay, they perfected their craft. Now here comes this man who pretends to be a woman that's going to take their spot. Say you got 8 spots on this Olympic team, and there's 1 spot left, and a man who's pretending to be a woman gets it over a biological woman who's been female her whole life. Now tell me how that's fair. It's not. But women are allowing this to happen. We wouldn't have this issue if women didn't allow for this to happen. You guys, if you're women and you're watching this, you guys need to speak up and make sure that these trans women do not come and try to take your place, because that's all they want to do. You can see it every day in the things they say, the way they talk. They really, really want to take your place. They really, really want to be women. Now, I can see if they wanted to fit in a category all their own called trans. Here's a trans women category, right? They could have protested for that. They could have said, hey, we'll negotiate. Can you give us our own section, our own division, the trans women, the trans men division, and we'll compete in that. They don't want that. They want your spot, ladies, and you can't allow that to happen. Thank you so much, Macy Gray, for speaking out. We all appreciate it. You're saying what we're all thinking, and a lot of people are afraid to say it. They shouldn't be, because it's the truth, right? Just like she said, everything she's saying is the truth, and unfortunately, people get canceled for the truth, but that's the times that we live in. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Visit the description section so you get links to my social media and also my merch. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.